in there. Shalom, shalom lechulam. Welcome to our limud. I'm sorry for a little bit of delay. I was caught up in another matters of Torah. Yeah, welcome to our limud. Rabbi Akiva, how do I get rid of this music? Be careful with the cord.
Yeah.
How do I? Okay. Is that all? Thank you very much. Thank you. Indeed. Time now is past. What is it now? No, not past. Yeah, 18 past 3. Israel time. Let me send the page of the halacha that we are going to learn for today. It's a continuation of halachot and Parashat Chai Sarah, the life of Sarah. Chaye Sarah.
Non, ma wife, elle est vraiment parce que ça s'est passé une fois. Elle dit, mais pourquoi
Sarah.
Parce que c'était dans les asthmes que la
My goodness, okay.
Et elle dit, mais pourquoi je ne l'ai pas entendu pour longtemps.
Bear with me.
Elle veut se connecter avec moi.
I'll be with you in a second.
Oh, ouais. Non, mais selon ce que tu m'avais dit aujourd'hui, ça m'est arrivé. Parce que quand j'ai vu ça, j'ai dit, je me suis looking glass, I'm like, I really need to work on that. Parce que, tu sais, moi, comme je suis avec toi. Oh, non, vraiment. Le vrai problème, c'est ça. C'est tout le problème.
Okay, the pages according to Ben on halacha, according to Ben Shai, it's in the group. I read it to merit to our hearing in Hebrew, and then we take it up from there. Halacha says, maybe it's to refresh our mind. It speaks about the mincha, the laws or halachat or halachot of or that deals with the mincha prayer of Shabbat. Last time, all the first halacha under that parasha, Chai Sarah, there is a pasuk. A pasuk that Ben Shai is making a reference to. Taken from Tehillim 69, pasuk, or verse 14. This is the very same pasuk that we recite after Kedusha. Kedusha or before we go to let me get my shidur so that I don't speak just to get this one right. Just to get this one right. Mincha Shabbat. Yeah, it's after Kedusha. After Kedusha. And the Kaddish. And when we recite that specific passage taken from Tehillim 69, Pasuk of verse 14. What is that Pasuk really say? It says, Ve'ani tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim berav chasdecha aneni be'emet yesh echa. Is translated as I got to get a proper translation. And my prayer be at the opportune time. Let's get to it's best to refresh our mind before to see the continuation of the idea of halacha. The translation is rendered as follows. As for me, may my prayer to you, Hashem, be at the opportune time. O God, in your abundant kindness, answer me with the truth of your salvation. Ben Shchai says, if you recite, the time of prayer of mincha or minicha on Shabbat, this is the opportune time to get grace from heaven when you recite or when you daven mincha. And we know mincha is the last, whether it's on Shabbat or it's on a weekday, is the last prayer of the day. But on the mincha of Shabbat, seems to me that it's the most time that we find grace. We find grace every day. We find mercy every day. But that one on specific Shabbat is different from the others. As Ben Shchai said, during the whole, meaning during the week, we are surrounded. It's too much. Not only that is too dinim, but very difficult also. Very difficult. So based on that, we go to halacha bet. Halacha bet, it reads as follows. Pasuk ze omrim. The very same pasuk 14 of Tehillim, or Psalm 69. Omrim oto achara kedusha. Uva leTzion. So I said it is recited after. It's recited after kedusha. Uva leTzion. Umi shedarko lilbosh talit במניחה אומרו אחר שילבוש וכתוב רבנו אז בספר חמידת ישראל. פסוק זה אומר, השליח הציבור פעם אחת. I will explain all this. וחוזלין הקהל ואומרים אותו וזוכר השליח הציבור ואמרו וחוזרין הקהל לאמרו פעם שנית יאוין שם ובשאר הכוונות ובספר פרי העץ חיים. Again, Ben Shchai is making reference to his master's teaching, Ari HaKadosh, particularly in the book called Sefer HaKavanot, and the Sefer Periayet. This is not the work of Ari HaKadosh, but it's a compilation of the teaching of Ari HaKadosh by his son. Continue with the halacha. Lo nizchar la'amro shetei pamim, ve'ulai ma shekatav chesed le'Israel. Again, he's making a reference to what has been said with regard to this pasuk in the work called Hemidat Israel. Ken lav le'ikuva hu ela kach haya המנהג בימים ההם. אם מכל זאת, כיוון דנזכר דבר הזה בספר חמידת ישראל, אולי לעיכובה הוא לכר ראו לכל אדם, לאמרו שתי פעמים בזה. אחר זה, וכן אני נוהג בעזרת השם, with Hashem's help, יתברך, ואומרין פסוק זה, ועומד, ונזכר במחזיק ברכה, ואין מכסים המצח ואופנים, בטלית במניחת שבת, כמו שכתב במשמלי חגיגה. It's another reference here Ben Shchai is making to בשם מר יעקב צמח ז"ל. Let's look at the translation, whether there's any difference. We say this pasuk or this verse after the Kedusha of Uvaletzion Goel. And those who are accustomed to put on talit for mincha should do so before reciting it. This is what we do in Bosina Kadisha. We follow this minhag. Our teacher, Rav Shmuel Vital Zar, writes that the Sheriach HaTzibur should recite it first, follow it by the congregation, then Sheriach HaTzibur should recite it again, follow it again by the congregation, Chemda Israel. It seems to me that is much more taught. This is very Sheriach HaTzibur, meaning the one who is leading the service, recited it one, and the congregation it does, and he does it, and the congregation do it again, meaning the congregation does it twice in response, and also the Sheriach HaTzibur also do it twice in response to what was said by the congregation. So each one of them must be able to hear it 4 times. It looks. But neither the Shar HaKavanot nor the Peria Etz Chaim mention this repetition. And perhaps the Chemda Israel does not mean that it is obligatory, but was it a custom, a minhag at that time. However, since the Chemda Israel refers to this custom, perhaps it is important that one should thus say it twice. And I myself do so. one should stand when reciting Va'ani tefilati lecha Hashem. So I wanted to end this, what we have learned on this halakha. My own chidush. When you look at that pasuk, you find that it consists of 12 letters. Not 12 letters, but 12 words. 12 words. But when you look at the 12 words, consist of 45 letters, otiyot. The 12, and I mean, the number 12 is very, very important. It's not going to be the subject of our learning today, but just to let you know that in the Torah world, we don't just simply look at, okay, this is the pasuk. We look at it different, we look at the word sentences from different angles, particularly from that of the Gematriot. So 12 number is very, very significant. So, and again, and look at the letters of the same sentence of that pasuk. The letters of the 12 words, the letters, meaning the otiyot, are 45 letters of those 12 words. And we know the significance of 45. And look at what the pasuk is saying. It starts with Ani, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Va'ani, and I. Tefilati lecha, my prayer to you, Hashem, et ratzon, Elohim berav chasdecha, aneni bemet. We look at who is pleading here. We see the one who is being pleaded here is also alluded in the otiyot. This is my own chidush. Who is that? 45. Who is this 45? Adam. Because the word Adam, if I put it in Hebrew, Adam, the grammatical value is 45. Adam is pleading. But who is this Adam? Yes, it says a man who is keeping Torah, that is the one who is called Adam. If you do not keep Torah, it's unfortunate. You do not fall into this category of called Adam. Just to let you know that, so Adam is pleading. And then we know Adam is Za. You remember, Za consists of what? Consists of 6 Sefirot. What are these Sefirot? Chokhmah, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, and the Yesod. This is what is called Adam. And Adam is in the world of and that Adam is in the world of Yetzirah. Or the Vav, remember, we talk about 12, right? the concept of Adam and the concept of Za is one. How? Because the Vav in the name Havaya, is Za. Za, who is composed of 6 Sefirot. And the Za is referring to the world of Yetzirah. Why am I bringing this? It's because we will encounter the aspect of Za, or the world of Yetzirah, and the world of Asiyah, which is not a part of this. The world of Asiyah is the last day called Malchut. We will encounter that in our main limud. So, just to let you know that we do not just simply do things mechanically. Remember, again, I'm saying this is my Hidush. We know that when it speaks about Za, it speaks about Israel. And Israel consists of a 12 tribe. It consists of a 12 tribe. And the Israel, according to our sages, is the one who is being referred to as Adam. Other nations of the world do not truly fall under that I don't know how to call it in English or any other language, but except in Hebrew. They are not truly in the category of Adam. They are called Umot Olam. This does not mean it has got nothing to do with importance or less importance or not important at all. It has got nothing with those qualifications. They have got their mission. And the Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, the 12th tribe, who are called the building blocks, have got their own mission. And of course, all these missions commensurate. They depend on each other. That's why we find ourselves in the same world. That's why you found yourself in the same world occupied by us. It has got nothing with those qualifications. So, Halakha says, we put talit, as I have said, we put talit before we get to Torah, reading the portion we read on Shabbat, or before the Amidah. We read the Torah, certain portions, not really portions, certain pasukim, some verses for the coming of the coming week. There is also a reason why the Chazal decree that we do that. Why do we put talit? We must know the significance of talit. I'm not going to enter into the details of this. I wanted just to touch a little bit, to touch on that just a little bit, because we see in a religious world, and I also see some member of parliaments in the country of my birth. They go to parliament, they put on talit. Okay, I know. There's halachic implications. Is it the talit that the Jew made, or it was just an imitation? And some people, knowing that I'm in the land of Israel for many years now, and when I visited the country of my birth, they would say, "Oh, Rabbi so-so, would you bring me a prayer show?" And I would ask, "What for?" "No, I wanted to pray under this." "Okay, what for?" "No, I just feel like I'm so elevated when I'm praying under that." This is just like, I just wanted to bring a scenario. I'm not discouraging you, but you must know. You must know where you are rooted. And if truly you are yearning to belong to the nation of Israel, that's a very good move. It's a good idea. But if you are just wanting it in order to be seen in your religion, and in order to advance the cause of your religion, it's unfortunate that you may find that you are a criminal. You could be an imposter too. This is my own word. Why am I saying that? Because if you do not know the significance of talit, and you think, because there are so many images on social medias about religious people, particularly of those Jews, and they talk about their Messiah. Of course, who was a Jew, if he's the one. And they would put on the talit. Please, if you do not know that custom, the tradition, and the significance of a talit, do not imitate. It's not for you. If it is meant for you, you would get out from your religion. I know what I'm talking about. I was also preaching. Along the way, I pick up to become an evangelist. It took me a couple of years of intensive research, comparing books of different religious setups. And I found a common denominator among them. Those are, I happen to have an access to their literatures. Why am I calling it an imposter? It's because when you, for example, you live in states, and I said governments, assume that, well, we find you in a bar and you put on a tires of a judge. Well, we find you driving your nice car, but you do have got, for example, a flag on your car that is meant only for the head of state or the army of your state or your country. Well, we find you have got a uniform of police, but you are not. what do you think will become, or what will be done to you by the state once you are caught? It could be a treason, right? It could be interpreted to be a treason act. You don't use something that was meant for someone, legally or otherwise. Here, when I say otherwise here, there are certain things that naturally they're only for specific people, and there are certain things that not because they were bestowed upon them by nature, but they were legally bestowed or conferred. So understand the significance of talit and what is written on the talit, on Talmud. Why do we do what we do? They may not mean for you. Thank you very much on halakha. So, yes. כן, בסדר. תודה רבה צדיקים. מה שלומכם? הכל בסדר? ברוך השם, טוב, להתראות. טוב מאוד. Oh, sorry. If there is any question, please do not hesitate to send the answer those questions on that specific halakha and any other halakhot. On halakha, we end here. We go to our main limud. Send to you picture. Send you picture of our main limud. Very good. That's yam. Hey. We continue with the Parsha of the week, Mishpatim. Mishpatim. What did we learn in the course of the week on this Parsha? Ari HaKadosh commenting on the passage of the Torah. I just wanted to recap what we have covered so far to enable us to continue with the sequence of the idea of the teaching of Ari HaKadosh. Ari HaKadosh in Sefer haLikutim is introducing us with a question, introducing his teaching with questions. Why did God decree that the Jewish born man should work no more than or less than 6 years? As you know, the Torah says, if you have got a servant, male or a female, it says he shall serve you only 6 years, not more and not less. And we know when it comes to numbers, we know what he's referring to. Remember, we just left the learning halakha, particularly when it comes to 48 letters of the 12 words of the pasuk of the verse 14, of Tehillim or Psalms 69. That 45 is Adam. It's the same gematria value of the word Adam. And when it says Adam, it refers also to Vav of the name Havaya. Now, and it says, the Torah says, decreed. Once you have a servant, male or female, shall only work for you 6 years. What does it remind us of? I did not bring that aspect last in the week, but just to provoke our thought to think that, not to think that, but to emphasize the point that I've said before, that Torah narratives should not be interpreted literally. And we will see what all this really is trying to teach us. Ari HaKadosh went on to say, and why may the Jewish bondman marry a Canaanite slave? Meaning, a person who is not from Bnei Israel, from the children of Israel, but from outside. And there is also a statement that HaKadosh mentioned. It says, it's a heinous. It's a heinous sin. It's a terrible. It's an abomination for Bnei Israel to marry outside. For we saw the Torah decreed we should not marry outside. If we marry, that person has to convert. That person has to convert. Sorry, I will be with you now. I'll be with you now. My sincere apology. So we have learned that why may the Jewish bondman marry a Canaanite girl? This is a heinous sin. As we saw in Malachi chapter 2, last time we saw in Malachi chapter 2, and I believe it's a pasuk or verse 11. And Ari HaKadosh went on further to say, furthermore, why is the law of Jewish bondman different from that of the Jewish maid or handmaiden? For our sage says that a Jewish bondman serves the son, but not his daughter. And the last time we also said a Canaanite slave we find serves everyone. In other words, we see that the law of the Torah demarcate that, for example, a bondsman can serve the master, but if the master passes on, the bondsman can serve his son, the deceased son. But what if he does not have a son? Only daughter? We hear and we learn that a bondsman cannot serve the daughter of the master. The pages that I have sent in the group there is taken from the Gemara, from the Talmud. It tells, it will elaborate, go through it, and I believe that you must have gone through it. It tells you how the Amoraim were discussing the idea of the Mishnah by the Tanaim. How did the Tanaim arrive to this point? What does it mean? They dissected every word used by the Tanaim. That's why in the Torah world, there is no Amoraim, an Amora, not Amoraim. Amoraim is when there are many. Amoraim cannot disagree with the Tanaim. They cannot. Just as the Rishonim cannot argue with the Amoraim. Rabbi Akiva is going through, or is going through with you on the introduction of the transmission of Torah, particularly the Torah Shebal Peh, how the Torah was transmitted through time to this very day. He's teaching us on this matter. So far we have ended on the concept of who is this person referred to as a Canaanite slave. Who is this person? I remember I have ended with this by giving you some information, not only information, but reality, that the moment the Torah was subjected to translations, it becomes the property or a tool of abuse. Why? Because many derive so many ideas from the Torah based on their assumptions, because translations is about the assumption of the translator. And you call it the Bible. Bible everywhere is Bible, everywhere is Bible, everywhere. And then we look at how the world became so a chaos place. From one denomination from one denomination to another in a religion, from one religion to another, it's so chaos. And they come and said, "This is what the Bible says." Who says so? Is it what we are saying? Even us ourselves, from Bnei Israel, from the Jewish world, some of us also do it, interpret the Torah out of what is this? Because we wanted to derive benefit out of it. Because we wanted to benefit from it. There are many cases. Many cases are not subject of our teaching now, but just to let you know that Torah abuse is not only by those who have translated it, or meaning by the nations who are not from Bnei Israel or Am Israel, but also ourselves from the same root, from Bnei Israel or Am Israel. There are some of us who are abusing it. Slave trade is one of these ugly that was taken from the Torah. Without knowing the tradition, it becomes a problem. The Torah or the sages tell us that when a Jewish person becomes a slave, it's not just simply going outside there and find a poor person and they said, "This one must save me." Well, just because he's out of poverty and said, "If you want to do this, if you want bread, if you want to eat, you save me, and I will take you out of your misery." Chash v'shalom. That is not the Torah decree. It's not the Torah idea. The Torah idea for somebody to become a slave is when somebody has got into judgment, has been judged by Sanhedrin. It is through whatever he has done, and he is brought to the Beit Din. The Beit Din is the one to either to subject this person into a level of a bondsman, or what is the other? Handmaiden. It's the work of Sanhedrin. It's not out of somebody's ego or whim to be saved. No, but let's go beyond what was written. What is really being referred to? Let's take the four world. We are familiar with this four world. We are familiar with this four world. The highest, not the highest. The higher world is the world of Atzilut, we know. Follow it by the world of Bria. Follow it by the world of Yetzirah. Follow it by the world of Asiya. Each of these parallel with the levels of the souls of man. The world of Yetzirah is corresponding to one of the fourth level of the soul, called Chai. Chai, life. Can you see? When the Torah speaks about life, it does not refer to anything outside or below the level of the world of Atzilut. Whereas the world of Bria, it corresponds to the world, to the level called Neshama. Neshama. Whereas the world below Yetzirah corresponds to the level of the soul called Ruach. Whereas the world below, the world of Yetzirah, corresponds to the level of the soul called Nefesh. Nefesh. Oh, come on. Nefesh. let's now dissect a little bit, and we are going to end there. Aria Kadosh, as we have said it last time, in the Sefer haLikutim, the page is also in there. I do not want to repeat much more what was said. Just to recap, I added this information now to get ready to what we have said, all I have indicated in our previous issue. The mystical explanation of all this is as follows. Every person possesses a soul called Nefesh, the last one. Nefesh, the last one of the world of Asiya. From the world of Asiya, this. What is the word of Asiya really mean? Asiya, it's the root of the word Asiya, it means doing, action. The world of making and doing is this world, the world of Asiya. Even if this soul is derived from a higher level, it is still no more than a nefesh. What does that mean? It's called Asiya, or the Canaanite slave. In other words, when you talk about, I just wanted to add this element before I come to that point. All these three worlds, the existence of these three worlds, the world of Bariah, the world of Atzilut, of Yetzirah, and the world of Asiya, before the fall, they were embedded in the world of Atzilut. After the fall, not really the fall, after the sin of Adam Arishon, these three worlds were pushed down. That's why they came in. But their principles still remains in the world of Atzilut. Now, when it speaks about the Canaanite slave girl, it refers to the nefesh. And remember, in the world of Yetzirah, of Atzilut, you do have got also the nefashot only for that specific world. So also, every of this world, you do have got nefashot that are only specifically for each of this world. Why? Because everything is in everything. You have got no thing in the world of Asiya unless it exists in the world above it. Now, let's go to what we did not cover, and this is where we are going to end, Besot Hashem. It's very, very important for us to distinguish, not to distinguish, for you to distinguish, to know the narrative, to understand what lies beyond the narratives of the Torah. Because the Torah is not about history. The Torah is about the souls descending to this level of existence. And they're returning. Aria Kadosh continues. Veda'a ki gimer 3 miluim shel gimer eke shehem kal kam kachav olim begamatria shepacha imikolel. What is Aria Kadosh saying here? Aria Kadosh is introducing us to Gematria. Not introducing us. He resorted to Gematria. Without Gematria, we have got a difficulty to understand the Torah words. Forget about the letters, the otiyot. What is he saying? Now, no, there are three spellings of the name Eke. What is the name Eke? We remember. The one who spoke to Moshe at the burning bush, we did not see the name Havaya. We have heard the name and we read the name Eke. What is Eke? Eke is spelled Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey. It's called Eke. And what is the gematria value of that name? Is 21. The gematria value of that name, Eke, is 21. And that this name is also feminine name, and we will see. And what does Yahweh Kadosh mean when he says, you must, and you know that 3 times of 21, the milui is giving us the milui. We remember when we saying milui, it means expanding the spelling of a letter. Not Yahweh Kadosh, Ben Shchai says, when you expand or spelling out Hebrew letter, you are multiplying the vessels. And what do you do with the vessels? When you multiply the vessels through expanding the letters, then you are increasing the vessels to receive what is called Shefa. What is a Shefa? Shefa has got 7 aspects. May not be the case now because of time. We will deal with. Now, let's look at what he meant by this milui. Follow with me quickly, and this is where we are going to end. Best of Hashem. Okay. Here we have got our initial letters, Aleph, Eke, meaning A, not A, He, and then we have got Yud, and then we have got Hey. This is our base of the milui that we are going to make. Now let's look at the milui. If it is Aleph, expanded the word, expanded this letter, then we have got Aleph, we have got Lamed, right? And then we have got pace of it, okay? Pace of it. That is the milui of the word Aleph. Aleph. And then we come to Hey. Hey, we see it's spelled with Yud. Because Hey can be spelled either is Hey, Yud. Okay, we have got Hey, the milui of it is Yud. The gematria value of the milui of Aleph, here we see, is 110. Whereas this Hey, the gematria value is 10. We will see how it develops. And then we have got Yud. Yud, the Yud here, the milui of it is Vav. Is Vav and Dalet. And Dalet. What would be the gematria value? The gematria value, Vav is 6. Dalet is 4. What would be? Amount to 10. Let's go. And then we have got the last hay. The last hay, again, is the Miloi is the Yud, which is, the gematria value is 10. We finished the first Miloi. The second Miloi, we have got the same formula, okay? But the Miloi of the second is Lamed Pei, which is Lamed. Don't forget this, the source. In other words, Lamed Pei, it's, you have got Lamed. You have got Lamed, and you do have got Pei, okay? Pei, which is equal to 110. Again, 110. And the second, hey, we are dealing now with the second Milui. Hey, again, hey can be spelled hey and the aleph, meaning it's just hey. So hey of Eke lead us to hey, which is equal to, the gematria is 5. And it comes to Yud. The Melui of that is the same, which is Dalet, and the Vav plus Vav, or either way, Vav and Dalet, which is equal to 10. And we come to hey, last hey, which is equal to 5, like the other. Hey to 5. What would it be? Let's look at all these. We will sum up. And the 30 Milui. The 30 Milui, Aleph, don't forget the source. Aleph is 1. Aleph is 1. Okay? The gematria value, Aleph is 1. Oh, I beg your pardon. Sorry. The first Miloi is the same. Lamed Pei. Lamed Pei. Lamed Pei, which is equal to 110. And then we come to the Aleph. Not to come to hey, which is Aleph 1. And they come to Vav Dalet, which is the same. which is the same, Vav and Dalet, which is equal to what? 10. And then the last Hey, the Milui of the last Hey, which is Aleph. Let's sum up all these. Let us sum up all this. What we have counted here. When you count all these Miluim vessels that we have created, we find that the first one is 140. Pardon me. It's 140. Okay? And the second Milui is 130. And the 30 Milui is 122. Now, let's put them on top here. 140 plus 130 plus 122 is equal to what? Get me to get it fast. We wanted to get somewhere. 140 plus 130 plus 122 is equal to what? All these Miluim amount to 393. What does it have to do with all this? Let's look at the word that Yakadosh emphasized. In order to describe the Canaanite slave girl, he says, Shepachat Canaanite. What does that mean? The word he emphasized here is Pachat. No, I beg your pardon. He emphasized the word Shepacha. Shepacha, how do I spell Shepacha? It's the Shin, Shepacha, Pei, and Het, and the Hey. What is the gematria value of that word? Is 392. In Mikolel, we have got the Torah formula to include the word into the gematria of the letters. In Mikolel, meaning plus 1, it equals to 393. What is all this? Let's come to the end of my limud on this very subject. It says, why would Akadosh Baruch, not Akadosh Baruch, why are Akadosh give us all this? One of the reasons why he gives us this is that the soul that we think is an ordinary soul is also coming from the very higher world. Be careful how to treat it. Do not take it literally, because this name, Eke, is coming from the world of Bariah. It's coming from Ima. It's coming from the world of Bina, the world of understanding. It only incarnated to the lowest world is it devolving? Devolving? Is it the right word, Rabbi Zohar? Devolving. Is it the right way to describe something devolving from upper to the lower level?
Like descending?
Yeah, like a descending.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I used a legal word. Devolving.
Devolving.
Yeah, devolving. Okay. So that is soul that we call nefesh, incarnated as a Canaanite slave girl. Yes, it's a slave girl in the sense that it's trapped in a very lower world. It is where it was reduced, but its really source is the world of Atzilut. As I have said, everything is in everything. There are nefashot that are also in every world. But according to Ari Kadosh, he wants us to understand, despite that it is at the lower level, we trace through all these calculations the gamat in the form of gamatriot. We trace this soul incarnated as a Canaanite bond Canaanite slave girl to come from a very higher world. Let's end with this. Ari Kadosh says, "Uvemalchut yes gimer eke sod uvemalchut mekane be'asiya laze yerdin hamiluim shela ba'asiya." What is he saying? Started to now introducing us, talking about Malchut. What is Malchut? Malchut, when we come to this structure of the four world, the world of Atzilut, the world of Bariah, the world of Yetzirah, the world of Asiya, this world of Asiya is what is called the world of Malchut. But yet, he is not discussing about this world. He is discussing about the Malchut of the world of Atzilut. What he is saying? In Malchut, and in Malchut, we do have got the three names Eke, or the names of Eke, or the three names of Eke that we have seen through the Gematriot are present in Malchut. Malchut, meaning the Malchut of the world of Yetzirah, by devolution, it comes to nest in the world of Bariah, and the world of Bariah, it comes to nest in the world of Yetzirah. In the world of Yetzirah, come to nest in the world of the world of Asiya. And therefore, it's three spelling out descent into the world of Asiya. By spelling out the name Eke, give us the proof and give us a hint that those higher world, they are hiding themselves into the lower world. So be careful. Even let's bring this to our daily life. Be careful how you treat a human being, your fellow human being, no matter in your limitation, no matter how you judge, because judging a human being and they put all these labels and many other things, it tells how limited you are in your knowledge, in your perception, in your conception about the reality you are part of. This tells us how you should treat a human being. Remember, there is a word, mi chamocha. The word chamocha is also the gematria value of the word Elohim. And the word Elohim is the same gematria. This is the same, has got the same gematria as that of Teva, nature. So in the world of, and yet we are not truly in the world of Asiya. Between the Malchut of the world of Asiya and the way we are now, there are also seven Rakiim. And not only that, there are also 4 levels of the world of Kilipot. Now you can see how far we are from the Malchut of the world of Asiya. We end with this. Veruacha meyetzira me'ezo bechina shitiye mimena va'etzira neki eved. Ruach, the word of Yetzirah, is associated with the word of Yetzirah, as I have said. No matter what level thereof, Yetzirah is called a bondsman. I wanted to end with this one. No, maybe, yeah. Should I really? No, I wanted to add more because it ties with what we have learned previously. Let me read and then we end. Besod Av Dalet Vehu Ki Shem Havaya Romez Beza Vehaza Hu Miknan Beyetzira Velaze Yered Lekaan Av Shehu Achirim Shel Havaya Vedalet Shehem Dalet Otiot. What he's saying, the mystical interpretation of what we have learned, it looks, number one, let me recap this. Number one, you do have got 3 categories mentioned in the Parsha. The first category is a bondsman. A Jewish person became a slave. A male became a slave. Second, a handmaid, a slave. Again, a Jewish lady become a slave. Third, a Canaanite slave girl. All these do not literally referring to all these. Greet me, Rabbi. Greet me.
My Rabbi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Before I become hot now.
Let me just manage.
Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. I'm sorry, I'm greeting one of my rabbi who just came in now. All these 3 type of slaves, two masculine and female, belongs to the nation of Israel. Only one called Canaanite slave girl, not belonging to the nation of Israel. But all these should not be taken literally, although they incarnate into literally form. All these are referring to what? To different levels of the soul. What are those souls? Nefesh, Ruach, and the Neshama. So Arya Kadosh, in the passage that we have read, what did he say? He said, the mystical allusion to these levels talk about the Ruach. Let's just get to the translation. The mystical allusion to this is that the word bondsman, Eved, may be read as Ayin Bet. How do we spell the word Eved? Allow me to we have exhausted all this, I think. Eved is Ayin. Beg your pardon. I'm sorry. The word Eved. The word Eved only 3 letters. These 3 letters is Eved. Bondsman. Aria Kadosh is playing with these 2 letters. I mean 3 letters. He said, if I take Dalet, if I take Dalet, and I play with the position of these 2, what would be the gematria value? It would be 72. And that is the first spelling of the name Havaya. If you spell the 4 letters of the name Havaya in Milui, it will give us the gematria value of 72. That is what Aria Kadosh is trying to tell us. And Dalet, the gematria value of the letter Dalet is 4. What does it explain? To explain this, it says the name Havaya alluded to Ze'ampin. Ze'ampin. We know Ze'ampin. What is Ze'ampin? We talk about Vav. Ze'ampin, nest in Yetzirah. As I have demonstrated before, the higher world who do nest in the lower world, and so forth and so forth until it reaches the world of Asiya. Therefore, the posterior of the name Havaya, with numerical value is 72, as I have said, descend into this world. This very name Havaya, do not, this thing called there is no God or there is God. What are you saying? Are you confining God to a specific realm? Chas v'shalom. This is the Greek philosophy. This is the philosophy of nations. Havaya, the light of Havaya is everywhere. Is in the tree, is in the water. It gives life to everything that you see. That's why it says, Aria Kadosh says, it descended from the word of Atzilut, and even beyond, not even, it descended from the upper. We do not know. Ein Sof there. And it dissolves, it goes down. And when it goes down, it would hide itself in different vessels. Those vessels called these 3 or the 4 worlds. The Dalet, which has got the numerical value of 4, represent the 4 letters of the name Havaya. Look at the word Eved, where we come from. Eved, slave. Aria Kadosh says, no. These 2 letters, Eved, meaning Ayin, and the Bet. The gematria value, it reminds us of the name Havaya when you spell it out, each letter of those 4 letters. And those 4 letters of the name Havaya is alluded to in the letter Dalet. So Dalet itself is the name Havaya. It alludes to the 4 letters. What are those 4 letters? Not Eke, but Havaya. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, which are paralleling this 4 world. The world of Atzilut, the world of Bariah, the world of Yetzirah, and the world of Asiya. We end here, Tzadikim, Tzedakot. We didn't explain about the Neshama. We know because Neshama is associated with the world of Bariah, meaning the world of Bina. Once again, I wanted to thank you very much for affording me your time to share with you. Much more to say. We did not exhaust even 2% of the Pasha of this week, but based attention with the time, we will slot in a different. We will slot the idea of Ari Akadosh under this Pasha because it's about Mishpatim. What is called the civil laws. It's unfortunate that we find ourselves in societies that the reality, the perception of societies we live in, you have got individuals making laws, but their perception of Havaya, there is the perception of Ein Sof is bled by ego, by honor, by all the embellishment society bestows upon the lawmakers within those societies. As a result of this, instead of people pursuing the righteous civil laws, they focus much more to their personal outlook. What I have learned from my master, Rabbi Pinchas, is that it's not just I learned from him. He learned from his master, and he passed it to us, and we are passing it to our students across the world. In Masechet, in Masechet, מה זה מסכת?
You have the phone, Pinchas? It's okay. How much people do you eat? 5. 5? Just all 5? Yes.
In Masechet, Rabbi, sorry, Rabbi Ishai. What Masechet is that we have learned yesterday? Masechet about Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Shimon. I forgot. Yeah, Masechet Pesachim. Pesachim, Masechet is a Gemara. It's a Talmud. We learned that Rabbi Akiva is cautioning one of his students. What did he say? He said, there are 5 things that you shouldn't do. Do not live in the city where you have got only people who are studying Torah and they neglect one part. What is that part? To get involved into the welfare of a city or a community or a country where you are. So Torah is not, it was not made, it was not meant, it was not given, as many people have assumed to be, particularly the idea from the Western world, a division between the state and the religion. They don't have any basis of that. The Torah speaks about the kingdom, and the kingdom is about the body. Like, for example, in many states, you have got a three branch of the state. What is this a branch? In many countries, you have got executive, you have got a legislature, you do have got executive. This is the brain of every society. What is the state? The state is rendered, by definition, is rendered as the unification of these three branches. So a state, but when you have got, for example, corruption, and when I talk about corruption, I'm not only referring to appropriating state funds. That's a small matters for us. We are talking about, do you have got people of Torah who understand every dynamics of the society they read? Although you only have people who are just pursuing for their personal interest. And when I talk about personal interest, I mean deeper things. It's not the way it sounds. So Rabbi Akiva, one of our masters, is cautioning. He's cautioning. Do not be in that city where the sage of the Torah are only pursuing, no, I'm here in my little corner. I don't care what is going on the street. I don't care what is going on in the community. I don't care what is going on in the country. I'm with my Torah, and that is it. No, don't be in that city. Thank you very much. I wish each one of you and your family Shabbat Shalom. Hope to see you on Yom Rishon. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen and amen. And I want to wish you Shabbat Shalom.